What's up, world? It's your mans coming at you with another episode of The Dumb Corner. Walk with me. Today I just want to talk about the Tamika Mallory Breakfast Club interview. Just my thoughts and my opinions on it. There's a couple things I want to discuss in this video. The first is, do you think my subscribers, the people watching, whoever, like, comment, subscribe, share this video for sure. But do you think our activists of today are truly activists? Or are they just opportunists? And I pose that question because, in my opinion, if they were truly activists, yeah, we would have seen more changes by now. Like, I don't understand. If you're an activist, what is your goal in your activism? What activism are you really out here doing? I mean, I know she be leading the rallies and the protests, and I know every time or every week when it's another melanated being being gunned down by the KKK cops or just by a white supremacist or anything, I know her and her friends are always there. You know, they do the protest, they do the rally. You get Ben Crump, he comes and gets the family a nice little settlement or a lawsuit. You know, it be on the news for a couple weeks. But what really changes? Because the next week, they just be in another town, another city, another state with the same protest, with the same rally, with the same rhetoric. So are y'all really activists for change? Or are y'all opportunists for money? I mean, we, the people, need to know. Because we get behind these people, we put our support, we put our hard-earned dollars, it might be $5, $10, but we donate, we do the things that we can do to, you know, try to be a part of the movement. But that's just the whole thing. The movement ain't moving nowhere. We still in the same place, under the same circumstances. So that's why I asked the question, are today's activists really activists? Or are they just opportunists? Now, like I said, I want to discuss, you know, her Breakfast Club interview and a couple things that, you know, kind of stuck out to me to make me feel like she's more of an opportunist than an activist. And one of those things was when her Charlemagne Leonard was discussing, you know, how she, you know, was down to her last. And then she called him, and he called Jay-Z and Rock Nation, and they called her and they helped her out. But see, one thing that kind of makes me think she's more of an opportunist is the fact that Jay-Z seemed to be in the same boat. I mean, all these fake activists, they kills me because they use their celebrity and their fame because they know most people are celebrity whores, and most people put these people up on the pedestal, you know, They hold them to higher regard, and you know, think they're prestigious. When these is regular people. That's one thing about me. I ain't never been a fan of a man or a woman. I can respect your work and I can respect what you do, but I'll never look at you like you're more than or I'm less than. Like we equal. When we in the same room, we equal. That's just how it is. You you put me in a room full of millionaires and billionaires, I'm gonna feel the same way as I do kicking it with my boys in the hood on the streets. Like that's just me. So I don't get caught up in the hype, but a lot of people do. And the powers that be know that they can use celebrities to keep the regular, quote unquote, so-called regular people, regular folk, down and docile. You know, they know how to implement their plan, and they use them to do it. So I don't understand why we give these people so much clout. Now, what I'm trying to say is, we got to quit doing that. That's because the person got money. That's because you see them on TV. They don't mean their character is just and righteous. They don't mean their heart is just and righteous. Just and righteous. Because most of these people are doing things that goes against what most people would think you should or would do for money. Like some people would sell their soul, do anything to get a couple dollars. And that's why I say when she said she was down and out, she went to Rock Nation. Like I say, Jay-Z with the Colin Kaepernick, he went in there like he was finna do something major, and all he did was hush that shit up. Just hushed it up. Quieted it down. Let it go away. But it wasn't no change that came out of that. NFL still operating the same way. We still living in a racist country or a racist corporation. So what changed? And so for her to lie to her, and you was down to your last. People, a person on their last is allowed to do anything for anything. If you understand what I'm saying. So that right there, that's hard to trust you, because when you made that call, like you out of your mouth, you was down to your last. So that means you were kind of desperate. So when a person come hit you with the whoop-de-wop and do this and you know, be a part of this and, you know, keep doing what you're doing, but we're going to tone it down and we're going to change the direction of where it's really trying to go, then more than likely you're going to be with that. So that's one reason I feel she's not an activist, but an opportunist, because she was down to her last, she went to Rock Nation, and now she's all over the place, making big money and doing big things, which you was just nobody, or didn't too many people know you just a couple years ago. So that's one. For two, we gotta quit letting these people do this, man. Everybody who get a little money and sell us out for doing it, when people start calling them out on that, they always want to act like a person hating or pocket watching or mad because they getting some money. And nah, it ain't got nothing to do with that. Like, everybody who got something to say opposing what you're saying is not a hater. Say, you know what I'm saying? So y'all can quit trying to dismiss people with that. Like a nigga hating on you because everybody ain't mad at people with money. Some people cool. Some people don't want to sell their soul, lose their integrity, go against their moral code and their character to get a couple dollars, to get a little bit of fame. Like, so miss us with that. And if anybody know, what you should know, ain't none of y'all rich. Yeah, some of y'all, couple $100 million, 1 or 2 worth of bill, but overall, Melanated beings in this corporation ain't got nothing. We own the same amount of wealth that we did coming out of slavery. So we can kill that argument. Ain't nobody got nothing. If you're a melanated being, ain't nobody really got nothing. You might have got some nice cars, you might got some nice houses and stuff, but you ain't got no power. You got power over us, maybe. They might let you have a little power over us to lead us the wrong way, but you ain't really got no power. So y'all can quit that argument about the pocket watching and hating and all that. Ain't nobody hating. It's just if people donate money for a cause, and then we see ain't nothing coming, or the cause ain't progressing, but we see your lifestyle progressing, then people have the right to question, what are you doing? And is you true in what you're doing? Because it's not showing. And that's just it. If you're really doing what you say you're doing, then the proof will be in the pudding. You don't got to sit up here and try to convince, because we'll see. But when you gotta try to tell a person what you're doing or convince a person what you're doing, then you might not be doing what you think you are. And that's just my opinion. And lastly, and this is the main point that I want to say, and I mean this, because you spoke on one of my favorite people, my favorite leader, the number one leader to me, in my eyes, as far as melanated beings in this country, and that's Malcolm X. And you fix your mouth to say that Malcolm X got paid for speaking engagements and Malcolm X got paid for book deals, which these things might be true, but don't you ever try to put him in the same light as you, as far as what he did, as far as his activism and what you're doing. Because if Malcolm X was still here to this day, we wouldn't be in this same position. And that's 100% facts. They didn't kill him because he wasn't for the people. They killed him because he was for the people. So let's get that understood. Don't you ever fix your mouth to put yourself in the same light as that great man. Because he was true to his activism and the cause he was fighting for, which was the cause of the melanated being in our situation in this corporation. Don't try to justify the bullshit you doing by using that man. And you use Martin too. Now, I'm not really a fan of Martin. I do know towards the end, when he got killed, he was speaking with Malcolm more, and he was understanding more that what he was doing wasn't in the best interest of us. And today, in 2021, the proof is in the pudding. Integration wasn't good for us. And it wasn't about being equal or anything. It was about business, money, because they know how great we are and they seen what we were doing. And that they knew that if they didn't continue to let us be on our own and do our own thing, that in 2021, we wouldn't be in this position. So, don't do that no more. Please. Don't use our real great leaders and our real great activists to justify the bullshit that you putting upon the people. That's a sucker move, and I don't like suckers. Like I say, man, don't do that. Malcolm X didn't die rich. I don't think Martin Luther King died rich. Them men, yeah, they probably made money off book deals and speaking engagement, but it's best believe them dollars were going back into the community to help build the community. Malcolm X wasn't the type of dude, from what I read and from what I studied on him, that was worried about getting rich and getting famous. He was worried about making a change for us. So I feel like you disrespected the great leader. Like I say, man, it ain't. These activists ain't activists, they opportunists. The ones we got today are more along the lines of the Jesse Jacksons and the Al Sharptons and all the people in government that say they working for us. But like I say, the proof is in the pudding, because if you was, we'll be a lot better off. We ain't no better than we was in slavery. You can think we are. You can let the fact that slavery ain't in. It just went silent. They didn't throw it in your face, but we still in the same conditions. So quit talking like you really out here doing some real activism and bringing about some real change. And then then this how I know she's a finesser and she ain't really about what she talking about, because she spoke on the George Floyd Act and how they need to pass that, and how that'll be a good thing and this and this. And this is where I'm going to show you the contradiction of what she's saying. So if you look at today's Breakfast Club interview with a lady, she's a lawyer. Her name was My Angel, and I can't remember her last name, but she's an actual lawyer. And she said herself that the George Floyd Act is a bunch of fluff. It's really a bunch of BS. It really got a bunch of, well, maybe this. It really, it's just bells and whistles. It ain't got no meat on it. It really ain't going to bring about no change. Because see, one thing, if you understand law is about terminology and language. Meaning that every word has to be placed the right way and every word has a meaning. So when they put certain words like maybe and could, like, it's really not saying nothing. It makes you think that all this is going to come about. But if you're a lawyer, then you know that it's straight BS, really. So, how you're an activist? What is your activism leading to? Because it ain't no change. And y'all can say, y'all want to say, people ain't hating. People just really get behind these movements, and we getting tired of getting behind movements and getting behind movements, but ain't nothing moving. But the people who on the podium talking, they life progressing, they getting more money, they're changing their zip code, they're doing this and they're doing that, but ain't nothing happening for the people. So are you really a true activist, or are you really just a true opportunist? I don't understand. And the last thing I'm going to say, because I love Malcolm X. It's my favorite leader of all times. And I love his quotes. And the quote I'm going to use for this video is like he say, "Be wary of a man that the white man holds to high esteem. For he's not working with you, he's working against you." And I believe that. So all these people that you see, they put into the forefront, and they on CNN, and they on all the major news networks, and they at every protest, every rally, and they talking to all the parents and family members of the people who died. Are they really working for us? Because, like I say, nothing changed. Every week it's another person killed. Every week we're going through the same struggles. So are y'all really doing true activists? Is it true activism? So I want to say, to me, no. Like I said, I see more opportunists than activists. But you might think different. Like I say, like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. If you know something she's doing that's really moving the needle forward, then let me know. Because I don't know everything. I just know what I see. And right now, I ain't seeing too much. But other than that, you know what it is. You know what I like to say. I'm just a man with an opinion and some kids. And the way I'm thinking is wrong, you can find me over there in the Dub Corner. Salute.